Okay, we're going to try to get a recording on a tutorial on Gimp. And one of the things that when I started this program was a mystery to me was how to cut out a face and leave a transparency. There were a lot of tutorials that told how to outline the face, whatever, but somehow they missed this transparent background issue. And there are a lot of better tutorials than this one out there that I finally found. But this adding a transparent layer or an alpha channel was a mystery for a while. And so first of all, opening an image. There's no use bothering to go through this elaborate file, open, search the directory, whatever, for an image. I'm just going to go off screen. I'm going to grab my image from my desktop, left click, drag it in, and just drop it right here. Now if I did that again, I'd have two layers to the same image. And if you want to, just to show you what happens, so I'm going to press Control Z and undo that. That always, Control Z always works. I'm going to take the image and drag it in again, but I'm going to drop it in with these little icons. And you see what happens? You get two separate images to work on. You can work on this one or work on this one. They're not two separate layers of the same image. They're two separate images. We'll see if I can close that one. Yep. So I closed that one and got rid of it. Alright, now, so let's say that we wanted to get rid of this background. Well, one option would be to erase it. So I'll go over here and I'll click on the eraser, and that little circle is the size of my eraser, and it's a fuzzy eraser, so it's going to be, I could choose a hard eraser like this, and it would erase that way. If I choose a fuzzy one, then it leaves a little fading from one color to the other. Well, neither one of those are going to work because I've got a white background now. So I'm going to Control Z out of that. What you need to do to get a transparent background is to right click on the layer and add an alpha channel. So now you've got actually two layers. You don't see them. One's transparent. You don't see them in this dialog, but it's there. So when I click the eraser and I erase, you see I get a transparent. That little checkerboard background is now transparent. So if I were to save that image, in order to retain that transparency, I couldn't save it as a JPEG. I would have to save it as a .pgn, which preserves the transparency, or a .gif. Yep. So now there are all kinds of ways to get rid of that background. You could use your magic wand and you can click, and now it's picking most of that color. So you just hit your delete key, get rid of it, pick that, hit your delete key, and you can get rid of the background that way. That's probably not the most effective way of doing it. And you get rid of some things sometimes that you don't want to get rid of that way. You got to be careful. So, but if you go, or you can pick your free select tool, and you'd probably want to make it a little bigger here, or maybe even bigger, and then you'd go around and you'd select the area, and you don't have to select the whole thing. You can do it in pieces. You just go out here, select that box. You make sure that you have this mode where you're selecting. This adds to it, this subtracts to the selection, so that makes a selection, see? And then you can select some more. and so on, and get rid of it all. And then let's open up another picture of him and show you another piece here. This is a little small. Let's say you wanted to make it a little bigger. You could go to Image, Scale Image, or you could select on the Scale tool, and then you get this box up here. Make sure you've linked it so it stays in proportion. And so now you make it bigger. Okay? Alright. So we'll scale it. Only trouble is, the picture now is bigger than the canvas. So we go back to the image, canvas size, and make sure you link it so it stays in proportion. Enlarge the canvas, it can be bigger than the picture. Center it, resize. Okay, well, it didn't get centered exactly right, but there he is. But now you notice that because you resized it, when you did that, you pulled it away from the canvas. So now it has established its own transparency layer or alpha channel. So if we were to erase this now, we got a transparent layer underneath that retains its. Okay, well, that's enough for my first sample video. Goodbye.